feel like we could kind of soft bullshit our way into the intro here, catching up. I mean, I know we've all been busy with side projects, passion projects, all this jazz. I've been thinking about turning a little bit of it into some content now that my workshop is finally cleaned up, organized, and has room to move around, work, and potentially film at the same time. As you said, Season of Touching Grass, I've been putting together the space to film some of the woodwork projects and been thinking about doing some side small stuff, content when I drag it out to the local farmer's market. Figure it could overlap through our weekend adventures with the crap we get up to. And also probably more a backlog of stuff for my own channel when I finally bring it up, but
well,
we've got a few adventures planned.
That's a great lead into the episode start right there. Thank you for opening us up as per the norm after we get back from a brief hiatus. Welcome back to WTFodcast. My name is Steve. By the way, what do you guys think of the new intro music that was finally finalized by Tyler and Varanger? Dude, that's badass. I love it. But as Keith was mentioning, it is the year of touching grass. I have been traveling. Ducky has been traveling. She's not on this recording because she's a little tied up doing her live streaming thing, which she is still live right now, so we're not going to bother her. And she's been live for like 2+ hours. I don't know how she does that.
Her hand's got to be ready to fall off.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how she does it. But welcome back, Year of Touching Grass. Part of the Year of Touching Grass is we always have a big trip planned. We couldn't do the cruise this year, though Ducky and Ghost took one, which we will eventually check in with them about. Ray, would you like to tell the viewers what we're currently in the midst of planning for the big trip of this year for the Year of Touching Grass? And I've got a couple of things that I've done that I have footage of and that I will eventually put onto the channel. But take it away, Ray, because you're our host this year for our big thing for the Year of Touching Grass. So,
our travel agent, if you will.
Yes.
So, me and Steve been racking this back brains for a little bit. What is something big and something particularly epic that we could all do, something that we could all enjoy as a team, possibly pop some scares into each other, or just low-key just enjoy the past moments. And we thought about, why not just go and entertain ourselves, but go to a place where we can all just chill and be ourselves. So we are planning in the future a trip to Universal Studios, Epic Adventure, and Halloween Horror Nights. It is going to be a big and very doozy trip. Going to be spread over a bunch of days. We're not going to try and do all that in one day because it's just one is way too much to do and way too much content to one record.
Have more time, not be as rushed, and also a slight upgrade from our last little epic trip that we brought you guys in a special episode from all in the same building down here with some of our adventure cut in. I'll admit, I think a lot of our footage we collected that trip was very tourist, very amateur, and I know that both of us can do better. And now me and Steve here are going to be taking our time, going through the parks a little slower, and with our new gimbal setups to bring you a lot better quality shots of the parks, more walk-through, less brief here and there. That's the plan, at least.
We're going to be doing 1 day of Epic, 1 day of Universal, 1 day of IOA, but we're probably going to merge the Universal day with the Halloween Horror Nights day, since they're going to be basically hours apart from each other. Why not try it and go and do it? As of right now, they have not announced any more houses, but we do have confirmed they're going to be doing Jack, and I forget the other guy's name. It'll come to me much later, but they'll also be doing Sinners as well. So those are 2 houses that have been announced, but any more of those we will be updated if we have another episode come out between then and now, which we more than likely will. We will make sure that those houses are known as well, and we'll probably give you our most anticipated house as we get closer and closer to the event.
Any word on what Blumhouse's house gonna be this year? Because Blumhouse is always there. So I'm wondering if they're gonna go with one of their classics like they did last year, or if we're gonna get one of their new films this year.
Honestly,
it's a lot of foreshadowing. We're still 4 months out.
Yeah,
they could honestly bring in one of their new things. I know there was one year they did a dual house and they did 2 movies in the house. They also did there was another year like that where I believe it was a Jason house and the movie that was like a Freaky Friday, but it was with a serial killer. But honestly, who knows? All I know is they got 8 more houses to announce and 5 zones they still need to announce. I have not looked at the HHN Instagram yet, which is where they do a lot of their announcements. So I look forward to what they're going to be dropping, honestly.
I've lived down here for quite a long time, and I think I've only been to 3 Halloween Horror Nights. So it's been a blast, but with the gaps in between them, the themes and the zones change drastically when you go quite a few years in between trips.
So a couple of things. Earlier in the year, I sat there and I went down and visited Critical and Ray in person. We did a bunch of fun things. Another thing that I did is I finally went and did the I always get the name of the experience wrong, but I went and did the that really cool, kind of Meow Wolf like experience out there in Kansas City. That was fun. I do have some footage from that. So I actually am going to head back out to Kansas City because literally, guys, it's only a 3-hour drive from me. I'm going to head back out to Kansas City because there's another thing I want to do out there, and I want to go visit the World War I National Museum out there. And the reason why I want to go visit it is because they have a really interesting VR experience that I think would just be really cool to do. And it's the battlefield experience. So you're basically, they put you in a darkened room with the VR headset on, but there are actual sets that you have to like climb over and move over while wearing the VR helmet, which I think will just be kind of cool. Who knows how my PTSD will react to it? I have no clue, but I still think it's worth trying, and I think it's a really cool thing. And I mean, for something that's only like 3 hours away from me, like, why not just make the drive and go do it?
That sounds very fun. Now I got to ask you, I know you've been talking about being interested in all those various Meow Wolf exhibits across the country, because I know they got like, I think about 3 of them now that I've heard of.
Yeah.
Did you do this when you had did that travel for your work seminar? Is that how you ended up over there? Or I didn't even.
No, I just kind of took a weekend drive and did it. So
first I'm hearing of it. That's awesome. I'm glad you finally got to do it.
I've got the footage. I might go back and do a second day because I wanted to do 2 days, but I wound up only doing 1 because I just wanted to drive there and drive back at the end of the day. I might actually stay in a hotel overnight and do a second day. Plus, also, in order to record in there, you have to get their permission. And so I would rather want to do a more professional recording, which means that I need to contact them, get the media permission, and get everything.
Wear a guest cam, have a guy follow you with a gimbal that's mostly filming while you're explaining and pointing things out. Like, yeah,
I mean, it would probably be better for that experience. So it's one of those things. I really enjoyed it. I really got done. I really had fun. I only got two of the things actually, like 2 of the mysteries in the building. I only got 2 of them solved. So, and there's like 7 of them. So I need to go back and I want to do a completionist route.
I would absolutely love to see it in person and go up and join you. That is a hell of a road trip for me.
So
if I can make it work by some slim chance, I'd be glad to follow you with the gimbal and just freaking get the good, quiet, still, slow panning shots through it while you.
Come on up. Once you're up here, we'll sit here and we'll jump in the car and make the drive over there and go do it and then head back. It'll be fun. I still also want to go do Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is still a big one. It's summertime right now, so it might make sense to do it. I'm not sure, but I still want to go do Gatlinburg, and that's only a 5-hour drive. So,
well, I'm gonna get some footage by myself, or whether I link up with you or anything. Because you've met Shane before. We've had him on the show briefly once. And he's gonna be up in Virginia, working on a campground for 4 or 5 months. I guess it's the slow season for work in the Keys, so he's making a vacation/work trip out of it. So now I've got an excuse to go up to Virginia. Or, no, I think it's Vermont. Vermont, not Virginia. There's right.
So,
a 2-week trip, I might be able to pass through your area on the way.
Yep. So just realize, folks, we've been doing stuff, and we've been gathering footage, but it is the year of touching grass. We are actually going out and touching grass, surprisingly enough, for this motley crew of people. So, but yeah, oh, come on, there it goes. But we've had a lot of cool and have had a lot of exciting things going on. So I'm glad everybody could sit here and make it. But let's go ahead and kind of dive into some other than just updates on the year of touching grass. Let's go ahead and find out what's been going on with you, Ray, because last time we had you on the show, you were sitting there going, I might start my own podcast. And I hear you actually have one now. I might or might not have been on an episode partly. Not tooting the own horn. But go ahead, lay it on us. What's what wound up being the actual vision? What wound up actually happening?
So the premise of the whole thing had started. It was inspired by the show What If for Marvel, and I wanted to do a different deep dive into certain characters about their actual canon events in when it comes to movie characters, or something that is supposed to happen to them, and it's something they are unable to avoid, no matter what universe they're in or what they have to go through. This is a situation that must happen. For example, it would be Spider-Man and Uncle Ben, Batman and his parents, and so on and so forth. It is something that must happen in order for them to go down the path that takes them to being the hero or the character that they're in. So we end up doing the first season very much close to that, and then we started to dive into other subjects as well. So we dove into characters, like we first started with Potter, then went to Kratos, and then we did Ezio Auditore, and then we did Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then we started going into certain other topics like The Last of Us and The Office and Skyrim, and just a whole bunch of other things as well. And what ended up happening is for season 2, which we are now starting season 2. Season 2's first, or let's see.
My God, man, you've been very productive since the last time I spoke with you.
Let me see. The first episode of season 2 has already been dropped already. And let's see. Yeah, the first episode of season 2 has already been dropped as of yesterday. This episode is based on Overwatch, the game, the history, the downfalls, and just the overall lore of both the game and the company of Blizzard as well. That is now posted, and we'll be uploading the next episode on June the 19th for that episode. And then we'll be doing also with a guest appearance from Steve from WTFodcast, an into deep conversation. I won't tell you what the subject is, you'll just have to tune in, but it will be going live. All these will be going live around 10 a.m. on the Hard Cannon playlist on the Epic Raid channel. So if you have time, come by, stop, have a listen. If you're driving, chilling around the house, cleaning, it'd be a good conversation to have in the background for you.
And of course, as always, links are all down in the description for those who want to find them. Sweet. And then, as people were coming in, they heard, Keith sitting there talking about getting his workshop all arranged and whatnot. I know he's got some ideas for some projects and whatnot on the horizon.
Not as interesting or engaging as you folks, but I try to keep busy with stuff when I'm not working.
So I do know that I do know that as a side piece one day, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna do it's not gonna be for the WTFodcast channel. It's gonna be more for the Critical Skeptic channel, and that's gonna be an episode featuring talks on cryptids and whatnot, and not we're not going super in depth, people. That's not the point. The point
We're going to get different with it is my plan. So let me just go ahead and throw it on the table and clear the air. Because I know you've been hyping up and I've been pondering and rolling around ideas for a long time. And I would still be sleeping on it if we weren't doing this show together. But I originally wanted to just casually go into overviews, theories, and general discussion about cryptids and supernatural. But the fact of the matter is, I follow a lot of people who, and this, I don't say this in a bad way, but have flooded YouTube with this content, and I think they do it fantastically, to a deep research degree that I don't even want to go to that degree with it, and I certainly wouldn't want to just be another lesser version of someone I personally follow already, you know? So I've been trying to rehash it in my head, if this is even the path I want to go down with the channel. Or if there's a way I can restructure it to where it's genuinely different and I don't feel like a pretender to a throne. Because I could sell you and send you guys to some other channels that are already flourishing far bigger than ours. And they do it better. They do it great. They do it better than I would. So to dive into it, the topic and the style, and not do it justice, just felt like I'd be doing something I'm passionate about, but underselling it and whatnot. So in the angle of actually wanting to touch on those cryptid and supernatural wiggy places, wiggy creatures, and urban legends, and not totally disregard the idea, I've been considering format, topic, and discussion about it in a different way than an educational or a history of, but more of a what Raheem here does with Marvel and cartoon characters, what if scenarios. Like, we're all familiar with the big main weird spookies and the conspiracies and all that.
Yeah.
I don't think we need another guy explaining it and telling everyone about it. I think we can have fun with it, and I actually took a little inspiration on this train of thought from a show we did a while ago, where we were playing around with AI with nerdy genres we all love, and we were creating fusion characters. And then we kind of even rolled it around, like, what if we pit those against one another? Like, I wouldn't mind doing a your opinion, my opinion, here are the perimeters, and have a deadliest warrior off of a couple of cryptids every once in a while. Or, what would you really actually do if the unexpected and unbelievable happened at your home or on your camping trip or whatever? And take fan and co-host input on it and make it more of a longer participation discussion rather than the educational, documentary-esque lore and history of. As I said, so many people have done that excellently already. So I would like to do that, but as I said, also, it's gonna be an ADHD channel just like its fucking creator, okay? Because there are days where I just don't have the focus to give an hour or 2 hours of time to that sort of thinking. And I would like to be doing something semi-productive, working on wood projects to take up to farmers markets. And I wouldn't mind just doing hangouts and walkthroughs and do maybe a time lapse with some commentary after the fact of wood projects and adventures of touching grass, maybe hitting more than just local farmers markets, taking you around, showing y'all a little bit of Florida, natural Florida, old Florida. I really love to camp, hike, and kayak, and I don't know, I think I'd like to share and spread the stuff that I've grown to love about Florida, which is the old towns, the historic places, the history of it, and the few areas of untouched nature that a lot of us are trying to be loud and fight to preserve. And if if this reaches any other Florida people or any other nature lovers, and you look at the state of overdevelopment and concrete and loss of wildlife areas out here, that's a very near and dear important topic to my heart. And
You kind of just want to
places and show you what we want to save down here.
You kind of just want to make sure that people see the side of Florida that's always that's not depicted in cinema, because
It's not
when
what
people
you're gonna see
think
in your
Florida,
vacation
they see
videos.
something very, very different, and like this
Which-
gives people an opportunity to see something that's more than what is typically shown.
When people show Florida, they always show the super touristy things, the theme parks, the
I drive
the
theme
beach.
parks.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing is that there are other places there. You have Jacksonville, which is Florida's only industrial city left. But up in Jacksonville, there's a huge
cities in the country. It spreads very wide
in the world.
Yeah.
It's the largest city landmass wise in the world.
It's the largest in the world. I thought it was the largest in the country. Shit.
Yeah, but the thing is that there's also a huge military culture there. The Navy, the Coast Guard, the Army, the Air Force, they've all been based there. And, there are beautiful historic sites like Camp Blanding up there, which used to be an Army training base all the way dating back to like Vietnam, Korea, and a little bit of World War II. That, Camp Blanding's up there. You've got...
I'd love to take folks out on many, many trips to the Ocala National Forest. It's filled with actual settler history. It's filled with military history from military bases that have been up there, and I do believe there's still an active Air Force base in the area, which we can't get too close to, but maybe get some cool shots of planes and tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And there is a ton of haunting and missing people, potential serial killer stories, even some... Well, I know there's a hippie group. Some call it a cult, some call it a commune, some call it just people living off the land, known as the Rainbow People out there, which I'd like to get you some true history and crazy lore about. And then there's even more mysterious stuff, like people not associated with that, talks of maybe wild people that just have lived outside of society for many generations out there.
Yep.
A lot of interesting history and spooky stuff just in that one area. Jacksonville, tons and tons of history, architecture. St. Augustine.
Yeah.
And then taking you to wildlife refuges, freshwater filter systems, estuaries, disappearing habitat that most people haven't seen with their own eyes. Couldn't believe it's actually a place in America, because our subtropical climate in some areas is one of a kind to the nation.
And I mean, the beautiful part is you have areas like Silver Springs that are great and they're beautiful, and we're losing these springs to over construction and everything like that. And these are areas that if people don't know about, they're not going to want to sit there, and they're not going to want to be inspired to save these quite frankly beautiful areas. So
I appreciate your support in the endeavor, my friend. I do.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's always what this podcast has been about: chilling with friends and finding out about shit. So,
He's telling us about some fishing trips he's taken recently. He probably tell you a little bit more of the coast life. I haven't been on the coast in a while.
So, there's always been a part of me that has sat there and gone, like, why don't we rent a boat and just go down the intercoastal? Like, it would be really awesome.
You're staying 2 weeks next time. I see no reason. We got 4 days near the attractions. I see no reason we can't do that. It might be hard to pull a couple of the right people together at the right time frame, but my brother just came through town last month and rented a pontoon boat, stayed up in the area for 2 days, and continued on a road trip with his girl. And that's actually the one I mentioned that is going to be up in Vermont for a good few months, and I might go on a road trip up there. So, but we would have loved to get you down there on the pontoon boat for a full river day. I mean, it was excellent.
Yeah. So now we'll just kind of shift here to the gears, and a little out of practice of being on the mic full time. sitting there and shift the gears a little bit. And so we're gonna sit here and play a couple of what if games from good old Ray, and see what he's got for us. I know that he's got some different and some interesting topics, and you know,
a little bit.
Yep. So, and there goes Skeptic doing his classic during our recordings. So, so quickly, feed the premise. What exactly? What is the totality of what we're doing here? What is the premise?
So for a lot of these scenarios, they're pretty self-explanatory. What would you do in this situation? Who would you pick? How would you deal with this certain situation? This, that, and another. And I just wanted to get your guys' take on it. Some of these are based on, you know, some of the characters they all generally based around the same type of like scenario. Some of them are way outside the scenario. And some of them are just like, you know, just a funny little like tidbit, like who would you call, essentially?
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, start taking us down the path. What do we got here?
All right. Let me get the share ready real quick.
All right.
Let me see here.
Yeah, it helps. It's going to help a great deal to give context to everyone listening.
Yep, pretty much. So, and then if I haven't already said it, hey, folks, take 2 seconds out. Click the like, click the subscribe, click the bell notification downstairs, and also, please, hit the hype button. So, nobody uses it. I don't know why it's a feature, but hit the damn hype button, I guess.
All right.
Who the fuck
we'll
knows?
Start with that one. Let me do the share real quick.
All right.
Where's it at? Trying to make sure I do this right. Window.
This isn't just for looks or character. This is for the freaking lighting.
All right. Do you guys see it?
Yep.
Yes,
All right. For this particular scenario, so we have the guys from Rush Hour, Lee and Carter. We have the two twins from Sinners. We have the guys from Pulp Fiction, the two guys from 21 Jump Street, and the two guys from Bad Boys. What's the same about all these characters? They all work together as a duo. They cannot work separate with each other. Now, the scenario is this. You are a witness in a case, and you have to hire one of these duos to protect you for the weekend, and you must appear on court Monday at 8 a.m. And they must get you from Friday to Monday, 8 a.m. back in that courtroom. Who out of these duos are you picking?
Ooh.
If I can't mix and match, I already know my answer.
Yeah, I've got mine. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Rush Hour duo. I'm gonna sit there. Yep, that's who I'm going with. Cause here's the thing.
Hang out with Kevin Hart for a weekend.
That's not Kevin Hart. That's Chris Tucker.
That's Chris Tucker. You know what? Actually, yeah. Realizing that, I think I could put up with that.
Yeah, but the thing is here's this. I've got the socialization aspect coming from Chris Tucker's character, and then I've just got the badass action capability of the Jackie Chan character. So like, I'm fine. All right, because here's my problem. If I go with somebody like the guys from Bad Boys, like shit's blowing up, and like there's the potential like stuff doesn't blow up with the Rush Hour characters. The characters from Sinners, trouble goes looking for them, so I will be okay not having part of that. The Pulp Fiction characters, I'll probably be dead by their own hands before I'm ever even safe. And then the 21
straight bullet.
And then my second pick was going to be the guys from 21 Jump Street. They were literally going to be, they were going to be my second pick. Because at least, listen, I may have a lot of broken bones by the time they're done protecting me, but I'll at least be alive.
Maybe. They're kind of fumbly about things.
That's why I would have a shit ton of broken bones.
Yeah.
But at least I would be alive. So
The bad boys,
Skeptic, who's
bad
your
boys
pick?
team, they get shit done. They're explosively aggressive. They get shit done. Like, I'd want them between me and a fucking problem out of all these guys. Maximum fucking aggression, and they're gonna go out and meet the fucking threat.
Maximum effort.
Now, can I throw out a set of characters who you didn't have in here, who I firmly believe should have been?
Sure, go ahead.
I firmly believe that we also should have had the characters from Beverly Hills Cop. We should have had Axel Foley and the guy who was played by. It's not Judge Reinhold. I can't remember his name. It might be Judge Reinhold. I can't remember.
When you first dropped this topic earlier, I was saying there's a movie. You hadn't even seen the movie, and I hope you get to watch it sometime real soon.
Yes.
It was a dark sort of buddy cop movie, and when you watched the trailer, you said it felt like something Tarantino and Seth Rogen would have created from both of their brains, and that was a beautiful way to state the atmosphere
It
of
really
that movie.
felt that way when I watched the trailer. It really, really did.
War on Everyone had which one of the Skarsgårds, the really freaking tall one. I think it's Alexander. I was looking it up earlier.
So,
And who was the short, funny guy? He's in so much shit. I forgot his fucking name already.
Mr. Penna.
Penna. Is it Richard? Was his first name? Or something or I think.
I can't remember.
but
But
yeah, go ahead, Steve.
the thing is like, I think there's the guys you picked Michael Penna. The guys you picked are an awesome set of combinations, and you get a wide range of diversity. I think there's way too many to really actually settle down and pick, because like I said, by default was Rush Hour, but if you actually had to ask me who I would want, it'd be Axel Foley and his partner from Beverly Hills Cop. Because hey, Uncle Dave lived.
True.
He made it to the end of the movie.
So when the prompt was originally posted to my TikTok channel, the prompt was initially, I shortened it down for our talk, but the initial was we would pick 2 duos to protect you for the weekend. So, but the ones that I ultimately picked, because I ended up picking 2, the 2 I ended up picking were Chris Tucker and Lee, not Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, and then I picked the brothers from Sinners. The reason why I picked those guys, one, Lee and Carter have experienced both at home and international. They have knowledge on how to survive things internationally as well as at home. It's described in both the movies. They did it in the U.S., they did it in China, and they did it in Paris. Now, when it comes to the 2 brothers from Sinners, they bring both street knowledge, but as well military experience, because they did fight in World War II as well. And they have the quick knowledge on how to assess situations and how to get out of trouble quickly, whether that be with words or whether it be with a bullet. They know how to handle the situation in-house and how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I didn't know too much about them, so like having more history and lore on them, that does clear up why you think they're a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they're not a bad
situations, military experience, ability to go with the flow internationally, blend and still fucking get the job done. Like that sound like pretty capable crew.
Yeah, like I said, to me, they weren't a bad pick. It's just trouble looks for them, and so I didn't want any part of that.
Which I can
all.
understand. Yeah.
Now earlier too, I really wish we could have just blended any of the groups.
Well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see blend any. Let's see like any of these guys. Like if
whether it's their character from that movie or any fucking character they've ever played in any movie. I would take Samuel L. Jackson and fucking Jackie Chan. Any character they've ever played in any movie. And as I said earlier, I mean, like his wallet said, bad motherfucker. That's who he is in every fucking movie.
Yep. It was written on the man's lightsaber, for Christ's sake. So.
Only man to get his own custom lights. Only man to ever make George Lucas bend the knee on a fucking film decision.
You got a purple one?
Yep.
We'll see. We'll
He
see.
personally asked him, he said, bro, the one thing I want if I'm going to do this, I want my own color lightsaber. I want a purple fucking lightsaber. And George Lucas is not a man known to take fucking direction requests or orders from fucking actors.
I just love it when it was filmed because he was like, "So what color lightsabers are there out there?" Well, the good guys get green or blue, and then the bad guys get red. Can I get a purple one?
We'll see. We'll see. There's two reasons I think he did it. One, because it's Samuel Jackson. Like, he's a big draw for this movie for them to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And two, it makes him stand out and seem unique. One, no one else has this color in the canon. Like, not the extended universe, just like in canon, no one has this color.
No.
Mm-hmm. And two, other than Yoda and the council, he's the strongest person there.
He's like top dog on the fucking council. So yeah, might as well give some extra fucking perks.
And not just that, I like when he sat there and he pointed out during his interview with Graham Norton is that it was really important for him to be able to find himself in the group battles.
Yeah.
And so if you see a little fucking purple lightsaber running around
on the field at once, yeah.
Yeah, that you see a little purple lightsaber running around, that's, well, hey, there goes Mace Windu.
Especially in that big end scene where they're all fighting the Coliseum. There was because you could always tell who he was, where he was when they panned out and were showing everyone. So that definitely helped.
All right, so what do we have next?
All right, so for our next one, let me go ahead and see if I can tune this over. Let me see here. Let's see.
Now my head's going with like action hero scenarios.
Let's do this one. So you get caught stealing, and your dad has to come get you. Rank from angry to I'm lighting you up when you get home from these 7 dads, these 7 TV dads and granddads, I'll say.
So who do I want? Who do I want
worst
to catch? I'm not gonna really rank them. I'm just gonna sit there and say if I had to come home and I got caught stealing, I would rather receive the lecture from Uncle Phil than the dad from Good Times, because I'm dead. I come home and I tell him, and I'm dead.
I barely and
that's not even
reruns when I was a little kid.
Yeah, and that's not even sitting there adjusting the whole, like, you have an elephant in the room on this, and that is the granddad from Boondocks. So
that would be my scenario. He's the one I'd have least rather have to talk to after getting fucking bailed out of jail. Yeah. I feel like that's going to be some angry, pissed off, work your ass out in the fucking yard for freaking 20 hours a day and eat slices of fucking bread and shit type of punishment. Like,
well, the thing is, like, in one of the episodes for the granddad from Boondocks, one of the grandsons does get caught stealing. And he actually, the opening of the episode is him whooping his grandson, literally.
Yeah.
Well, that's from the bits and pieces I've seen of Boondocks. I feel like his temperament, I would not want to be the kid that fucked up and pissed him off.
My thing is that, listen, Uncle Phil is going to beat my ass. All right, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. He's probably going to beat my ass. But the thing is that the lecture is going to end with a hug.
I think so, yeah. More than likely, yeah.
So the dad from Good Times is just gonna beat your ass, and then if you die, you die. You've got some real good variables on here, but it's just one of those things. I'm gonna be dead, like, and if I want to sit there and save my own ass, it's gonna be from Uncle Phil. And at the end of the day, Uncle Phil's going to give you a nice, good talk, one-on-one, and he's going to address the root issue, and then give you a nice good hug, and then Uncle Viv will sit there, or not Uncle Viv, Aunt Viv will sit there and ask, ask to get you a sandwich later. So I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Uncle Phil's gonna take good care of me.
I think he'd be the best case scenario too. He had the more sit down and talk to you, and then, now did you learn your lesson? All right, now here's what you're gonna do to unfuck it up. Now follow through. Go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I brought this scenario up to quite a few people, the one that they were genuinely the most afraid of having the game picked up by, or having to tell their dad, hey, I got caught stealing, the two that were the most like, I'm not going near that, was the dad from Good Times, James, and Granddad from Boondocks.
That kind of makes sense to me, yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen that in ages.
Now, the most two popular picks were, like, I'm going to sit down, I'm actually going to open up and actually tell them what I did, were Uncle Phil and Julius from Everybody Hates Chris.
See, and I never saw that. You had to give me the prelude of that show.
Yeah.
Because you guys explained Uncle Phil really well, so I'm not going to go in it. But with Julius would be just disappointed in why did you do it? Like, why did you think you had to go steal this? Why did you think you could talk with me? I could give you some extra work. We could find ways for you to get this. Like, what made you have to go do this? Like, why would you make people believe you're the stereotype that's surrounded by us all the time?
Yeah.
And he'll end up giving you that talk. It's like, don't let people believe you're the stereotype of your skin color. Prove them wrong. Doing things like this is going to make people believe, hey, you're black, you steal things. Like, this is all you're meant to do. Break those stereotypes. Be something different.
He's going to give you like a philosophical life lecture and make you like feel it, like make you come to understand why the fuck you should feel bad about it, type of shit.
Yeah.
And you see, that would kind of make him like my second pick. But the thing is that I don't want to be preached to about it. And that's why Uncle Phil still remains my top pick, is because it's, we're going to talk about it, we're going to discuss it, but the onus of improvement is on me. Mm-hmm. And I like that about Uncle Phil. Because he does that whole disappointed dad thing of like, do better.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally get what you're saying.
Now, the one in the middle, was the dad from Family Matters, because the one thing that separates him from all these other dads is he is actually a cop.
Yeah, and that's why he didn't even rank on my list, because I was like, yeah, I'm not asking my cop dad. I'd rather ask my judge dad to come bail me out of jail than my cop dad.
Because the cop dad will probably leave you in there to make a point.
Oh, fuck yes. And I'm pretty sure there's an episode of Family Matters where he fucking does that.
I think there was an episode like that, but he was not told they were in jail. He was not told. They spent quite a bit of time there, but he wasn't told they were in there. He found out later, and then he went to go get them. So they were in there for a significant amount of time, but that was only because he didn't know they were there.
There is one dad that I'm very happy that you did not put on here.
Yes.
And that is because I think that he is the most hypocritical dad of them all that you could have featured, so I'm very happy. And that was Mr. Huxtable. I'm really glad because, like, the thing is that you could go from one episode to the next episode of The Cosby Show, and there was never going to be consistency in the way he was parenting. And all the one thing that I will give this list credit for is that all these dads have one major thing in common. They are all consistent in how they parent. And that is why I'm glad you didn't put the Huxtables in here, because that would have been the variable that would have broken it, because they were never consistent in parenting.
And the thing is like, they couldn't parent. He couldn't parent by himself. He needed his wife to help him parent, and that was the thing. Because I honestly when I watched the show, I got the feeling that he was the one Like the mom was like they switched roles when it came to discipline. The mom was the one that was more harshest on the kids than he
Oh yeah.
was, and he was the one like he would sit you down, pour you a cup of tea or coffee, and be like, "Why? Just why?"
Almost like an Al Bundy, but less, more put together, less trashy. But he was like very hands off, is how I kind of perceived. It's been
Yeah.
a long time since I've seen that show. Again, that was like Nick at Night reruns shit for me. But yeah, I kind of got the vibe that he was like a more put together, upscale version of Al Bundy. Like,
Yeah, in a way.
he's like a little more respectable in his work and in the neighborhood, but at home it was more like, I'm gonna do old man dad shit. I'm kind of more hands off with the kids, and I did pick up that vibe you pointed out that everything kind of went to mom as the arbiter of what it was gonna be. Like she'd call the shots on a lot of shit. That then again, fuzzy old memory of it, but.
When it came to disciplining them, like in the show, whether it be the youngest to the oldest, the one I saw acting out or more or less yelling the most was the mom. The dad had a very quiet voice when it came to discipline, especially towards the son. He didn't yell at the son or any of the other ones. He simply spoke to them in like this calm, but it was a like, you screwed up, right? Like, you screwed up.
Yeah.
And like he'd be like the one to show you. He'd be the one to tell you like, this is why you screwed up. This is why you're in trouble, and this is what you're gonna do to fix it. But
A pattern I think I kind of remember from that show is I felt like he would chime in more at the end of the episodes as a matter of fact or a retrospect sort of lesson. Like, what did you learn from this? Or kind of told you so or tried to warn you. I feel like it was like how they try to put a moral point at the end of a lot of those older 30-minute sitcoms and cartoons back in the day. And a lot of that comes in. The wise guy says his piece at the end of the episode. I kind of feel like, from what I remember, they formatted it a little like that, to where he shared his wisdom or lesson kind of towards the end as a, like you pointed out, did you see the error of your ways? Did you see what you did?
There is a dad who I wish you had put in here.
Who's that?
I wish you would have put Tim the Toolman Taylor in here.
Oh, shit.
Honestly, yeah. And now that I think about it, you're kind of right. Yeah.
I really, it's not a super strong belief, but I feel that if you had put Tim the Toolman Taylor in here, he probably would have been my top pick, because out of everybody presented, him and Uncle Phil would be the two most balanced, and he slightly tips the scales on that whole being the most balanced, because Uncle Phil won't really go to an outside person for advice. And the
Uncle Phil won't lose his patience no matter what, but Tim might lose his patience a little.
Yeah, but also, Tim will always go to an outside source, which is why I think he would sit there and get the one up, is because he's always got that back end, that back end support from Wilson.
Yeah, I was thinking Wilson and his bearded coworker, the more upbeat,
Al.
positive guy. Yeah. And
And
Wilson's like the wise old man.
Yeah, it would be a tough pick for me, but honestly, like, Tim the Toolman Taylor definitely should have been in here. And like I said, the only reason being is because, like, he's got that he has that want to go out and seek advice and whatnot. And also, unlike Uncle Phil, he does not mind being called out when he's wrong.
That's the one thing that is very different from a lot of these dads. The only ones that I saw, like when they knew they were wrong with something, they would openly say, like, I was wrong and I'm sorry. You didn't see that with a lot of shows, especially when it came to parents, them admitting that they were wrong about something. But the Terry Crews character, Julius, he admitted when he was wrong and he apologized to Chris about it. James wasn't as much, like, because there weren't a lot of scenarios where he was wrong. It was more or less a warning from the kids or something like that. It more or less came from his wife than the kids. But the dad from Family Matters, there are multiple times where He openly came to his kids and he was like, you know what? I was wrong here. I should have believed you. You were right. And that shows me a good sign of the parenting that you lay onto your kids, that you're able to say, hey, I wasn't right in this scenario and I took that out on you. I'm sorry. This wasn't right. I apologize.
Not everyone can teach that lesson because not everybody has the personality traits to own up to when they're wrong, discuss it, especially with someone that you're over, you're the parent figure. That maintaining a certain image thing and maybe even a little personal ego gets in the way. And I think that's an excellent point you bring up because most people wouldn't think that being able to do that is a beneficial skill to, like, teaching your kid how to own up to it if they screw up. When they see you, their role model, going, I'm not always perfect. Sometimes I get it wrong. And then you show them the whole process of how you handle realizing that, acknowledging it, and resolving whatever conflict there was around it. That's an important fucking life lesson to teach a kid, I think.
Yeah, no. So, all right. So what do we got next?
But I think there's. Did you mention? I think you mentioned Bernie Mac, right?
Yes, I did.
We all talked about that one a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I did mention Bernie Mac, and if in keeping in line with the trend of the style of parenting that's presented on the map, Bernie Mac would fit in on that style of map. And it is because Bernie Mac has that discipline, but he also has the gentle hand. And I think Bernie Mac would be another contender up there with Tim the Toolman Taylor because he'll go to an outside source, and he'll also always refer to his wife as the other strong subject matter presenter. And I think Bernie Mac would also be a really good contender in this list just because he has all those benefits. So this is almost one where I'd say take it back to your TikTok. Add Tim the Toolman Taylor, add Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Get rid of Winslow.
Get him off that fucking list. I'm 40 years old and I feel barely in touch with some of these characters. Like I said, last time I watched them, I was probably under 10 watching Nick at Night reruns or maybe daytime TV reruns.
The only reason why I'm saying get rid of the Winslows off this list is that Family Matters is definitely a thing, but A, he's a cop, and B, like, you have the Steve Urkel variable. And even though you don't want to admit it, the Steve Urkel variable will fucking hit you.
So I was honestly considering taking out Pops from the Wayans Brothers because he's already portrayed on there twice, technically, because he plays the voice of Granddad. So I was already considering taking him out and add someone else in.
He really is also the odd character out. I'd also take him out. There are the two that you can remove and the two replacements that you can throw in there. So, and I genuinely believe if Bernie Mac and Tim the Toolman Taylor had been on here, those two would probably take my top spots. I'm sorry, Uncle Phil, but I don't want a dad who's going to completely sit there. I want a dad who's going to be the same type of dad that I was, and that's not completely shit the bed when you sit there and you need discipline.
Right.
So, plus honestly, Bernie Mac maybe is the safer dad choice because who knows if your house is actually going to stay in one piece by the time you're done with.
I feel like my opinion. I feel like Bernie Mac feels right in the middle of this list somewhere. Like he does have that stern, harsh punishment. Like you're gonna fucking learn lesson, and he rages out and gets really scary before he normally makes that decision and tells the kids how it is and has the discussion. So like you said, he talks, his wife gives in her opinion, he listens, and then normally there's this downtime with a side plot and he hangs out with his friends and the shit comes up in conversation and he kind of gets some roundabout advice or perspective whether he asked for it or not from hanging out with his friends. And then later on in the episode is when he kind of makes up his mind how he's going to deal with the problem, what the talk is going to sound like, how the punishment's going to be.
Yeah.
And it is
Very
often
true.
by the end of it a very, like you said, part gentle-handed, but also that wasn't always guaranteed. It was about,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your ass out this house and send you to fucking military school. Like, but then it often comes to like a more logical punishment / correctional lesson of the whole fucking problem. So
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
what
he's
if I
somewhere
had
in the
threw
middle.
what if I threw in Hank Hill in this one?
Oh God, there ain't no fucking.
He's going to be near the bottom of the list.
There is no negotiating with Hank Hill. There is no changing his fucking mind. That is a character that is so stereotypically set in his fucking ways. It could go 100 years and he'd be the same dude.
I mean, look at the most that you can do is look at the newest season of King of the Hill that
Time
came out
jump
on.
20 years into their future, basically, and he's exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, like
All the tropes, all the opinions, all the same intelligence skills, and all the same character flaws and stupidities.
he'd be right down there with Grandpa at the bottom of the fucking list. So.
Predictably, at least he's predictably consistent.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
totally.
You know exactly what to give him for Father's Day every year, Christmas, anniversary. You give him the exact same
Something
thing.
completely fucking practical.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who else. Let's
I'll
see
be
who
right
else
back
did
with you
knock
guys.
out. Alrighty. Let's see. We did. Who did we do? We did the cops. We did the dads. Let's see what else we can do here. Oh, this one. Hold on. That one. This one here. So.
All right. We'll
this
wait
one-
till Skeptic gets back.
Gotcha.
So, no. So I here's the thing, and I'll ask you to do it. Redo the list a bit. Drop the Winslows off. Sit there and definitely drop the Waynes off. Put Tim the Tool Man. Put Bernie Mac on there. And then, just for balance's sake, because you will need that balance back of, because good times can stay because you need that
Yes.
end all be all, you ain't living through the end of the night one on there. The other one that I will sit there and say add is go ahead and put the Huxtables on there. And the reason why I say put the Huxtables on there is because it's seeing how people will react to that style of parenting, because I would want to know who would honestly pick the Huxtables over everybody, because the parenting was always so inconsistent.
It's true.
And so, I'm not sitting there saying make them defend themselves for the pick, but it's one of those things of who would honestly pick the Huxtables.
You know what? I got an idea. What I'll do is I'll redo the video. I'll add them with their partners. That way, I'm not just doing the dads. I'll add them with their partners and be like, whose household would you want to be parented in for a year, or stewarded in at least for a year?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think that would give everybody like a good balance in like who they would pick.
Okay,
I do believe there will be some people who will pick the Huxtables. There will be some people that will pick the Huxtables. There will be.
Which is absolutely insane to me, because they would be one of the worst picks. So they would be absolutely one of the worst picks. Okay, so what do we got for this next one?
So for this next one, your neighborhood is currently being assaulted by ghosts of a different variety. You have the option to call one of these three groups. You have the option to call the Fentons from Danny Phantom, the guys from Ghostbusters, or the Scooby-Doo gang to investigate. I didn't say capture, I said investigate. Who are you picking?
I'm gonna pick the Ghostbusters, and the reason why I'm picking the Ghostbusters is I want to give Velma all the credit that I can for how smart she is. But the thing is
damn in that whole group.
Yeah, but the thing is that you've got with the Ghostbusters, you've got the Egon variable.
They're all fucking scientists.
Yeah, you're going to not only get to the root cause, you're going to get to the root cause of the root cause. So the Egon variable is just too strong. This is a man who made a toaster dance across the counter, okay? So
Ghostbusters' whole team is fucking geniuses. Whether you want investigation, you want to know how it came to be, or you want it trapped or exterminated, they can solve all your fucking problems. I don't know shit about the Danny Phantom crew, so maybe they would be a better pick, but I don't know shit about them. So,
I mean, the problem with the Phantom crew to me is that it is too much. It is too much over reliance on the pseudo and not enough reliance on the science to me. If that makes any sense.
For the Fentons?
Yeah.
Okay.
And mainly, I mean, like the Scooby-Doo gang, they're terrible at their fucking one job. They just get lucky, and the plot setup is easy. Like, they trip over the right answers. Velma's the only one with, like, a deductive, logical, investigative reason or process. Yeah. The whole
Velma
rest
has
of them
bailed she's bailed their ass out on more than one occasion.
If Scooby wasn't meant as comedy relief, he'd be the second most valuable character because a trained dog, a well-trained dog for investigational purposes, is more fucking useful than the whole rest of the crew. Well, Scooby and... So if Scooby wasn't, like, the butt of the joke and was used as, like, a crime dog, him and Velma would be the MVPs. The rest of them, just there for... I don't know.
I mean, other than the fact that Fred and Daphne are shagging every episode, like, it's like, you know...
We're going to go off this way. Oh, the rest of you fuckers can go off that way.
There was no realistic way that they ever successfully would have achieved anything they were trying to do without Velma. Because, Shaggy and Scooby are just looking to hang out, go on a road trip, eat snacks, and smoke pot. The other two are just, like, trying to basically, they're, like, tour the country and hump. Like, you got your preppy kids on a travel adventure, you get your potheads along for the ride, they all run a serious company together.
Do they get paid?
Velma's the entire management system of the fucking company.
The live action movie, the live action movie raised up the whole point of how they got paid very well, I think, and so but I mean, okay, so when you ran this, A, who was your pick, and B, what'd the consensus come back as?
Yeah.
So when I ran this one, my number one pick was the Fentons, simply on the fact that they this is their job. This is what they do. This isn't like something like they actively do this every single day. They go out and fight different variables of ghosts as well. The only reason I picked them over Ghostbusters, and it was a very, very close pick, is because the Ghostbusters, they deal with primarily just a neighborhood type of ghosts. They deal with only in their neighborhood. The Fentons have fought ghosts in different areas as well, different states as well.
Almost like the Avengers team of ghost hunters.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. Global threat versus your local friendly neighborhood superhero.
Yeah.
They're defending Manhattan like Spider-Man.
But when it comes to success rate, though, the Ghostbusters are hands above the Fentons, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not to mention, let's not forget that the Ghostbusters did franchise. They did franchise. So
yes.
So what was the consensus among your viewers when this one came back?
Oh, it was a no-brainer. Everyone picked Ghostbusters.
Did they really?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yep.
I figured.
Yeah, I like your breakdown and explanation of the Phantom team. I could see, like, kind of the set, like, they seem pretty capable. I might try to, like, surf a little of the cartoon to see their capabilities and style. But, Ghostbusters just...
Because
science and proprietary technology developed to handle the direct and immediate situation. They're specialists.
And because in one of the episodes of Danny Phantom, the dad in the orange jumpsuit, he literally fights a ghost with like a pair of like ghost gauntlets that he literally punches them with his
punching
hand.
Brass knuckles.
Essentially, yeah, he fights them one-on-one with his hand. So it's like, how many guys fighting ghosts with their hands, pretty much? Like, I will throw hands with you. It's in the literal term.
Cool way to handle a ghost. I like
That's not bad. That's not bad. All right.
It only happened in a couple episodes, but still, like, it was still great to see.
That's cool. These are my ghost busting fucking taser knucks. Gonna be pounding some poltergeists today. Fucking drag him into a fucking octagon. Move on to the other side.
All right, so what do we got next?
All right, let me see what else we got here. Let's see. Let me see if I can find. Let's see.
I saw one with Shigo
I like
on
to
there.
brainstorm about this one.
Okay.
The format sounded complicated as hell. Oh, that one. Okay, I'm gonna be lost on this one.
Yeah. You can pass it. It's just you had Shigo on there, so I was just
So,
like,
do you know all four of them, Steve?
I do know all four of them. Yes.
Okay, so the relationship is not going right, and you have to break up. You have to break up with your girlfriend. Who is one of these four girls? Who are you most terrified of breaking up with, and who you think is going to give you backlash? Yeah, this is a hard one. This is definitely.
I'm
almost dead from every single one of them, but honestly, if you, I can't tell you who the worst would be.
I vaguely remember what cartoon one of them is from.
But if you had to ask me of who I would want to break up with and who I think would handle it the best, I would be a fool to break up with her. It would be Shigo, but she would handle it the best. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is over the term of Kim Possible, when you were watching the series, you did run across several her ex-boyfriends. And all of them were alive.
Yeah.
Fair logic.
Just say it. Vicky is going to sit there and she's going to be a whiny, crying teenager about it, and she's going to try and do everything in the world to try and win you back. That's a no from me. That's a hard no, boss. Yeah, Azula's going to burn down a fucking nation. There's only one who I feel confident in how this is going to go, and that's going to be Shigo. And I know all of her ex-boyfriends lived to tell the tale. So I best breakup scenario, Shigo. Thank you.
So
Also, she hot.
My only context on this is their expressions in these fucking photos. And they all look a little fucking psycho and scary, to be honest.
So I'm gonna give you my pick, and I'm gonna give you the viewers' pick on what they picked.
Okay, all right.
So the one I picked was the same as you, Steve. I picked Shigo as well, because she would honestly, she's gonna be mad. She's gonna be mad, especially if she likes you a lot. But you're gonna survive to the next day.
Yes.
Future long, I'm not sure, but you're gonna survive till the next day.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
the one that was picked the worst, like who's going to react the worst, it was actually a tie between Azula and Vicky, because everyone believed that Azula will take out your entire family out of spite.
oh yeah. Like I said, she'll burn down a fucking nation.
And then Vicky would somehow turn it away to try and destroy the world because you did it.
No, you see, I disagree. I think Vicky would go full-on crying teenager.
We didn't see her with a lot of boyfriends, so it was very difficult to see.
I think she would go full-on crying teenager. I really do. I don't think she has the emotional maturity in order to sit there and cope with a breakup.
Do you think she would slash your tires and burn down your house?
No.
Really?
No. I think she would be so devastated, she'd be that type to sit there and be like constantly. which is worse in a different fucking way. So
And one of the reasons I also like,
let me just guess. Let me just guess. Lower right had barely any picks.
yeah,
Yep.
it was mostly because I think a lot of people think that the relationship be so toxic anyway that she'd break up with you first.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So,
All right, anyways, let's go on to one that Keith would know.
okay, let's see here.
Sorry, I just saw Shigo and I get easily distracted. That woman's a work of art.
Actually, let's
Jump
do
back one. I want to get a better look at this lineup here.
Let's
This
do
one
this.
here?
What's your topic on this? I'm familiar with about half of this board.
So the top, I'm gonna go from left to right, going down. The top left is Danny Phantom. Middle is Static Shock. Third one is Luke Skywalker. That's Miles Morales, Harry Potter, Aang from Avatar: Last Airbender, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, and then Percy from Percy Jackson series.
All right.
Now, this might be a genuinely easy one, but like I threw this scenario out to people to have them give a very large, like, don't just base it on who immediately comes to your head. Like, base it on their skills, their adventures, their mindset, who they are. Who embodies the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility, out of these guys here?
All of them kind of. One of them is. It's this token fucking, line. I don't know. Did they even drop that line in the Miles Morales one? Because I feel like every fucking Spider-Man early story dropped that line in it.
Yeah,
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
they did.
bits and pieces of the Miles Morales Spider-Man, but I know bits and pieces of like all the Spider-Mans went back. Static X, I grew up watching that cartoon.
So you're sitting here saying that out of these people, not including the actual line itself and where it originated from, who most embodies it?
Yeah.
Fucking none of them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're all reckless until they learn not to be, but it does apply to them in the long term, I think. Well, at least the four that I'm actually thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, in the very, very long term, yes. But in the immediacy of their media, none of them.
Harry, I don't think, embodies great responsibility, great power at all till he's fully an adult, and it wasn't by choice or acceptance. He was forced into life or death scenario over and over and over till he realized the fucking responsibility was gonna fall on him no matter fucking what. And then he accepted it, matured into it, and got better at handling it.
You read the Percy Jackson books, he comes off as a whiny bitch, so no.
I don't know nothing about him.
Fucking Sora from Kingdom Hearts is you should know better. He is a fucking terrible pick.
I would say Luke embodies that after the first 3 episodes when you get into like what was the series that they're not using as canon that they started writing the books in, where he started like
Legends.
Yeah, where he starts recruiting and protecting and fathering all the new generation of Jedis. He becomes a true leader figure that makes decisions to keep people alive, keep them safe, and not let his he learned to not let his actions cause harm to others as he grew. So I think he embodies it a bit better.
So out of the immediate choices that I'm presented with right now, all right, there's only 2, and that's going to be Luke and Static Shock. So
I feel like Static was thrust into that role and embraced his responsibility a lot quicker in a story arc.
He really did, but like out of immediacy, none of them. But if I had to pick, it'd be Luke and Static. The rest of them, hell no. I mean, shit, Legend of Korra should tell you exactly which way Aang goes. So, Aang didn't get better with age. If anything, he got worse. So, Percy's a whiny bitch. Danny Phantom, we know what he's like when he grows up, and he becomes a full-on douchebag. So,
are we talking about the same guy?
Yes. Dude, he was stroking his ego way too fucking much in that fast forward episode.
No, that was evil Danny. That wasn't him. That was evil Danny.
I don't know. There's way too many parallels between the way the series went and the way that character was shaping up to be. Way too many parallels. So way too many parallels. And then Harry Potter, I'm not even going to say when he became an adult he ever sat there and truly learned his lesson. You know, cursed child out the fucking window. Just the sheer fact that he went through all of that and still became an aura has, you know, aura is still a problem to me. It's because he could have sat there and he could have gone on to be a professor.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. he could have gone on to be a professor. He could have been the next professor of dark arts and given people the actual knowledge and equipment. And on the instead, he became wizard cop.
See, I don't even.
I honestly thought he
I don't
could have
remember
done.
the part
He
where
could have
that
done.
happened. The last few movies are fuzzy to me.
He honestly could have done what Neville did, because Neville became an Auror, but he was only an Auror for like maybe 4 to 5 years, and he went to become a teacher.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could give you that, but at the same time, I'm just saying, man. Like, if you ask me from this list, and you're having me take them in the context of just their personality right here, right now, none of them. But the only two I would ever actually ultimately pick is Luke and Static.
I think they're up there. I don't know enough about Miles's like journey through being the best version of his own Spider-Man, so I don't know like the flawed or messed up decisions or paths he took along the way.
The problem is before they could ever even get to like a more stable spot in the comics for him, his comic always gets a fucking reset. So he's very hard to gauge because we've never had Miles around long enough to really like cement him around. I mean, even Miguel O'Hara has more solid character building than he does. So, but then again, I mean, even if you had put Miguel O'Hara in this list, who is my favorite Spider-Man ever, even if you had put him in here, I would have told you to sit there and take a long walk off a short pier, because he's the worst example, because he is absolutely, he knows he is a murderer, he knows he's a killer, and he knows that he is a bad guy, and he has fully embraced that about himself.
So there's one person. After I upload the video, I'll tell you the pick everyone picked when I get done. Okay. There's one person I wish I had put on here, and after seeing everybody's like results and everything, how they talked about it, I'm very, very sad I did not put him on here, because he's still one of my favorite characters. Even of the ones in this list, he's still one of my favorite. I'm upset that I didn't put in Gohan.
I mean, he was so young when he started, but Gohan, I think, embraced his role as something bigger in the universe and a protector fairly early on in his life. I mean, it was cemented by Team Gohan when he fights Cell.
It's also a thing, though, is it's kind of the whole Harry Potter and Percy Jackson thing, though, is it fair when it's like thrust upon you forcefully?
Well, no hero expects their powers, so in all ways, who you can be, your maximum potential, and the hero you could be to the world is always like, oh great, I'm super. I could be super me and super incognito and not let anyone fucking know, or I could become and embrace the fucking hero the world needs. So I think you gotta look at it that way. This is all kind of thrust upon each of them, at least as far as I can think. I think you got to look at it over the elapsed time of how they developed and what was the key turning moments where they said, you know what, I'm going to nut up and be the fucking hero. And then also you got to think about how reckless they were when they're younger and how much collateral damage they created and how quickly they learned not to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Because the age they're at displayed right now, this is the point when they actually start to realize those lessons that you're talking about.
Yeah. I am just I once again though, I'm just going to point out, I think the worst pick you have on this entire roadmap though is Sora.
Why Sora?
Because even all the way up to the very, very end, he had embraced what his job was, but he never embraced the severity of what his job was. There was never a true level of acceptance from him. At the end of the day, it was just about saving his friends. It was never about really realizing the greater good of the whole thing.
That's the character from Kingdom Hearts? Is that who you're talking about? Okay, okay.
Now, there was a scenario that was pointed out to me when I showed this to someone from work, and he got me thinking, and I was not entirely sure about the answer, so I'm going to pose it to you guys. Out of these 7 here, who would you want to confront the least their evil side?
Ooh. I'd probably have
Luke.
to say Potter. If Potter went fucking full-blown evil, nah. I mean, Luke would be bad, but I think I could hide from Luke. And, like, Potter could fucking level a city to get me if he wanted to go full evil. Like, and he could track you. You can't hide from him. Like, yeah, Luke has the Force, but, like, evil Luke, if you're not, like, in his immediate vicinity, I don't think he's going to pursue you that hard. Unless you develop a very particular... Unless he gets a vendetta for you.
Yeah, because
Potter, I could see him going full-blown Voldemort, just like evil, obsessive lunatic that's willing to fucking scorch the whole world to get to his target or what he hates or wants to fuck up.
Funny enough, that almost happened.
Oh?
It almost happened. So you don't realize it too. One of the later books, so they introduced in the 6th book how they found Voldemort, and now the point from when he got to when he was young to when he left school and all that. If you pay attention to the detail and how they react and how they speak to each other, it's almost the same.
Like they're afraid of him. They see his potential if he went evil.
Yeah, and then
no, you mean when him and Voldemort are kind of having their whispery back and forth? Is that what you're talking about?
No. It's so when they went to go pick up Harry, Hagrid went to go get them, but Harry had those darker tendencies that Hagrid had to stomp out really quickly. Because when they went to go get his school supplies, Harry was looking at the dark arts books on how to punish people, particularly his cousin. Even though his cousin was a dick, he was already trying to use magic to bully his cousin. But Hagrid stomped that out in the butt really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And Harry was also a bit of a person that wanted to be by himself, which was something that Voldemort did consistently. His friends anchored him from doing bad decisions, which is why he didn't end up like Voldemort.
It's like that kid from school with the trench coat who sits by himself, real quiet. You don't want to piss him off or get on his bad side.
Yeah, learn everything about that dude, become best friends, so the day when it happens, it's like, you're good.
I feel mildly called out right now, and I don't know.
I hate to drop any of the terminology to correlate it to mass casualty incidents.
I really
but,
feel called
mass
out.
casualty incident with a wand, that's that kid. If he didn't have Hagrid and Dumbledore to soften him and nurture his less vengeful side, I think Harry could have been the biggest fucking problem.
Because something tells me, he could have, honestly, if they just let him have, a free reign, he would have, cursed his aunt and uncle and his cousin without consequences.
Oh, yeah.
They would have, had them, again, he was miserable there, and he's not very shy of talking about it with his friends. Had he known the magic and spells to do it, he would have gotten away with it, he would have.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So there's been a couple of times in the books where he literally almost did. The only thing that stopped him was that he wouldn't be able to go back to Hogwarts and see Ron and Hermione. That's the only thing that stopped him.
All right, so
Damn,
what are we moving on to next?
A lot louder than before.
Let's see here. Actually, there's a funny one here. It's an eating contest. Who's your pick?
Yeah, Boo.
Blue?
Because his appetite has nothing to do with his physical size. He is a black hole inside of a little jelly donut. The other two, their physical body would eventually fucking stop him.
So why are you eliminating Boo? Let's start with Boo.
No, I'm not eliminating Boo. I'm saying top winner eating competition of all time.
Yeah, top winner is Boo.
Number one. And hands down every scenario. You want a bus eaten? He'll fucking eat a bus. Without chewing it or cutting it. He'll swallow it. And it'll disappear in the cosmic singularity that is the anomaly of Boo's anatomy. His fucking anatomy defies all fucking laws of physics. I mean, the other two are governed by some laws of fucking physics. Remember, inside of Boo, there was a battle with enough energy between Saiyans and Majins that could have blown up the fucking planet Earth, and it happened inside Boo's fucking guts.
True.
Yeah.
It's
so,
a quantum entangled singularity fucking physics breaking nightmare inside that.
Yeah,
thing.
this is a no brainer of who wins this
So
This
funny
fight.
enough, everyone actually picked Luffy for the
Really?
for the yeah. Everyone picked Luffy.
He's
Yeah, no.
Goku-esque in his appetite, I think. Surprising as hell, but still governed by some laws of reality.
Yeah, same. Like he's eventually gonna get tapped out.
And it's kind of the same thing, I think, also with Snorlax, because Snorlax can only eat up to 1,000 pounds of food, which really, honestly, is not that much.
He's considered more realistic, like a real biological, like, study chart of, like, compared to, like, an elephant or a hippopotamus. Because that's
Yeah.
how they treat Pokemon in that world. Like, unusual types of animals with special biological characteristics. But they tend to go about it more like a Net Geo way describing Pokemon, which makes me feel like he's very much governed by laws of mass and size
Yeah.
and ability
Yeah.
to consume.
Because there was an episode where he ate all of the fruit on 3 separate islands, and I don't mean just some of it, all of it. And these weren't some small islands; these were Hawaii-sized islands, and he ate all of the food off of there. The only thing that stopped him was Ash and Pikachu. That's literally it.
I figured he would have got tapped out and took a long nap after a while.
So
Until he goes dormant type of thing.
So I'm surprised it didn't also, but what ended up happening was once he ate all the food off the island, he swam to another one and started eating the food off of that one.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
So
Go where the food is.
I just I put him on here because that's a feat in of itself to eat
For
3
a single
islands worth of
creature, that is
food.
very impressive. That's like what a herd of creatures could do, so yeah.
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 Imagine 4 of him living in the U.S. right now.
That would be fucked.
Like
So-
really big locusts.
Yep. So there'd be calls for culling them. So
Bro, we would fucking put these in a factory farm in a fucking nanosecond. Can you imagine how marbled that fucking shit is? Can
Be
you imagine the volume of
delicious.
steaks you could get out of that?
be fucking delicious. Give me a Snorlax steak, please.
Beef would take a fucking back seat if there was Snorlax. on the
My
fucking
God,
menu.
could you imagine Snorlax back bacon? Be fucking delicious.
That's gotta be somewhere
Be
between
fucking
hippopotamus
delicious.
and buffalo steak.
Wait. Okay. So what would you eat? Would you eat a milk tank or a Tauros? What would you more inclined? What would you?
I don't
more
know what
like
the first one is you just said.
milk
Yeah,
tank
one-
is like
one-
a cow.
Yeah, one's a cow, one's a bull.
I don't think that was in the original 150. I kind of fell off after that. Was the other one
I mean-
Arcanine? Isn't that the fire dog? Is
Which
that-
one?
What did you say is the second one?
Milk tank and Tauros.
Oh, that's the bull with the fire on his tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd particularly want... I don't really have a correlation with milk tank. That sounds more like a dairy cow. Tauros I am slightly familiar with because that was an older one. That seems more like a breeding bull, not an eating one. I imagine he'd be really gamey and tough. So I'd probably go towards the softer, more cow-esque one. If
No.
So-
steak.
The
just
two
just give me straight up Snorlax. Fuck the other two.
the
I'm gonna
two
take-
most the two most eaten Pokemon in the world in the show that they've actually announced, they're 2 birds. One is Farfetch'd. He's actually eaten with his leek. It's a delicacy. And the other is Pidgey.
That, to me, that's like a really big Cornish game hen. I think that'd be like a really large game hen. The flavor of a game hen, the size of a turkey.
I'm fucking picturing.
I would eat the fuck out of a Pidgeotto, dude. I would.
I'm just kind of sitting there, because when I picture Pidgey, I always picture fucking New York style pigeons.
No, those are flying rats. The Pidgeotto doesn't look any... That looks like a majestic wild bird. Looks more like one of them ground-walking quails or hens. I would bet it would taste more like a quail or a hen.
So
In a
so
pinch,
what
you
happened
flying
was
rat.
there was an episode where there was just this island of these really fat Pidgeys. They're like chicken-sized Pidgeys, and they're
That was
too
awesome.
fat.
Motherfuckers sound great with barbecue
And they're too
sauce.
fat to fly away because they're too fat.
They're
But the
too
thing
heavy
is,
and long and fly. We turn them into fucking chickens. That is
Yes.
a processing plant, not an island, sir.
So, but the thing is, the island was deemed protected because, as they said, people are eating the Pidgeys.
Protected by the guys that are... Yeah, they're feeding out on the front. It's like a nature reserve, but underground they have a fucking processing plant. I guarantee it.
Now
How do you think they're funding that kind of op? How do you think they're fucking funding it? Private hunts? Maybe someone gets to take home what they so they probably got a butcher shop, like big game preserves, right? That's how.
Honey, are we going for for Thanksgiving this year? Are we going for the 20-pound or the 30-pound Pidgey?
Oh, the fucked up, dude, man. I feel like I'm not nearly that cold, dude. If it wasn't a Pokemon, I don't think I could be that cold. I'm not trying to hunt exotic animals to taste them. I'm not against hunting for food. But the whole exotic animal hunt, like that's some twisted shit.
The one Pokemon that there are literally thousands of, and that you would think people would be eating more, is the only thing that is probably the most difficult to eat. And that is Magikarp. Magikarp is 80% bones.
It kind of looks like it would be like a Gar. All
Damn
tough,
thing only has
scale,
one
bone.
move, tackle.
No,
Look at that
Splash.
fucking
Splash.
clamshell one, bro.
It's the
World's
same.
biggest fucking oyster. I bet those things are on the menu in the Pokemon world.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got
I never
next?
thought of Pokemon's fucking cuisine before, but I like this topic. I'm
getting hungry. Stop. We're moving on.
Surprisingly, there are no chicken Pokemon. There aren't any Pokemon that are literally chickens or roosters.
Give
They're
them
literally just ducks or birds.
Give them time.
No problem with this.
They made an ice cream cone of fucking Pokemon.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Really? Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Pokemon that's basically a sandcastle. It's a sandcastle.
I'm so glad I didn't fucking keep hooked on that whole Pokemon trend as it kept rolling.
Let me see here.
It's gotten way out of fucking hand.
Speaking of Tim the Tool Man. Okay, I don't know if you know who this one is, Steve. The one on the right.
Wasn't he like a little sub character in all that?
Yes. So he's called Repair. He's called Repairman.
I mildly remember this is probably not one that you're gonna want to. I don't know.
I'll skip over this. I'll skip over this one. It's okay. Let's see here. Okay. I think you can do this one. So, your friend has invited you over to his house, and his parents is one of these. I think it's, what is this? 6 parents. Whose house are you likely to stay at, and whose house are you staying? No, I'm not staying there.
So Jimmy Neutron's parents are fucking all the time, so definitely staying at their place. And then probably I have no desire to stay with Helga's parents.
So that's the parents from Hey Arnold? That was the girl with the pink. That was her parents?
Yeah, that's Helga's parents.
Okay, I don't remember them as characters. I vaguely remember the show. I know those two are from Fairly Odd Parents, but I think I've watched all of fucking 10 to 20 minutes of Fairly Odd Parents in my entire fucking life, so I recognize them. I don't know shit about them. I would definitely not want to stay with the Hills.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that.
Boring and walking on eggshells about everything you do and say.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel like it would be the most boring. And
Why do you
then,
think
like, there'd be a family
Bobby
problem
never had-
because you freaking flip the toilet paper the wrong way with them.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby never really had friends over, so, you know.
I'd be more inclined to talk to the dad than the mom, because the dad I could talk about like fishing and hunting and stuff like that, and we would.
But he's gonna have a fucking opinion on it all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good reason. Yeah, that seems like a good conversation, good hangout. I don't know that set that well. I would pick the Griffins to hang out with because they have a big family and a lot of difference from character to character, and I could see myself sitting there listening and talking conspiracy crazy shit with fucking Stewie, and then going out for drinks with Brian. And honestly, just following Peter and watching the dumb shit he gets up to fucking be like my pastime. So,
yeah, no, like as a kid, definitely want to be chilling over with the Neutrons. Definitely want to be chilling with the Neutrons. Plus, let's be real. Out of everybody shown here, there is maybe, yeah, no, you accidentally separated this out perfectly. The three most loving couples, the three people who actually genuinely love each other the most, you put all at the top. The rest of these couples only tolerate each other.
Yeah, like I'm gonna start with Helga's parents. Helga's parents were probably, if I could put anything, were probably the most neglectful towards her, the most out of everyone here.
Least we not forget, there was an entire episode where Helga's mother sobered up, showed what such a boss bitch she was, and it was because of her husband that she sat there and immediately swerved back around and became a drunk again.
Yeah, and the thing was, she was
for that show,
and she was actually really successful. I think if Bob had passed away, she probably would have made that company a lot better and probably would have been more successful, honestly.
Yep.
Like, they would have been selling beepers the whole time. They probably been selling cell phones and everything, like upgraded with technology and all that stuff as well.
Yep.
And then with Timmy's parents, they were just like very off hands with him a lot. Like, they left him alone constantly with the babysitter, that he warned them constantly, like, she's bad. Like, she's bad.
The thing is that I think Timmy's parents were definitely the type of parents who, like, for the most part, they would be, involved-ish, but, I mean, it's obvious they're out there living their different lives. They're obviously out there living, like, I'm sorry, the mother always came off to me as somebody who had, like, a lot of shit to hide. So, like, a lot of shit to hide. So...
The mom, I think, had the most potential to be a good single parent, I think.
Possibly, if she wasn't so stuck up her own ass. Out of everybody here, the two worst parenting couples would have to be the Batakis and the Hills. They're the two worst. There is...
When it comes to each other or just outwardly?
I mean, even to each other. Let's face it. I'm pretty sure... Like, with Hank and Peggy, like, there was probably a divorce in that pipeline multiple times. And the fact that it seems to be, like, every single episode, they only really tolerate each other. Even in the first episode of the new season of King of the Hill, like, when they're coming back on the plane, like, I talked about this when we talked about the revival of King of the Hill way back when. Like, that whole plane scene is not awkward funny. It's not. Peggy oversteps and Hank is just, it's just they're
both very stubborn in particular in stupid ways that are different from one another, and I think that's where a lot of the divide in their dynamic comes from. They both have one fucking crack minds, and they're both fairly simple people, but they very rarely look towards one another and communicate well.
Yeah.
So I think that is what creates a lot of that wedge. Like, they're more like professional roommates than a actual romantic couple.
So you're saying, like, they got married just for the sake of being married?
Kind of like, I feel like they're the couple that got together because that was what was expected in common, where they grew up, how they grew up. Pair off, get married, find somebody practical that makes sense to be with. And they were the real example of it. Wasn't very much about, like, romance or connection. It was like, oh, you're a fine woman. You'd make a good wife.
Yeah.
You have a decent husband. You're strong and you work hard. This is sensible. And I think it's married. Like, one's a teacher, so he's more good at domestic things and communication. He's piss poor at those traits, but he is knowledgeable about skill-oriented things. Ironically, too, the more I watch it, I feel like they're two different types of autistic.
Yeah.
Like their hyper-focused skill sets, interests, and in a way, they're, like, off doing different things. There is often, like, communication's like a fucking afterthought in a lot of the episodes I see. Like,
Yeah.
it's a strange dynamic with strange personalities.
And there were times... Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Oh no, and I just want to point out, like, he's completely right. I think it's just they wound up together because it was what's expected. We know why the Patakis got together. So, like,
I think she got pregnant with Olga, and he's like, well, dang it.
Yep,
Okay.
that's exactly why they got together.
Because like the dad is probably the laziest. Like, he's not Oscar lazy. He's not Oscar lazy, but like he seems like the guy that's like, okay, I'm gonna go make money. You're gonna stay here and do wife stuff. When I get home, I don't do wife stuff. You do stuff to cater to me.
Yeah.
And that just seems his whole personality. Now, I'm gonna bring home money that you can spend, but I'm gonna monitor what you're spending though.
Yeah. I you know, like I said, you must have subconsciously split this list and not realized it, because you put all the loving couples at the very top and then the worst ones at the bottom.
Because like,
even though I'm not that familiar with the Pataki story, I remember Hey Arnold vaguely. I don't remember their character story that much. But what I'm noticing is everything you're laying out, man, a picture can say a fucking 1,000 words, because everything you're laying out seems almost evident when you look at that one picture.
Yeah.
Like, starting with like Peter and Lois, like, even though they gripe and fight a lot, like they're still very, like, you know, loving towards each other, and you see that. And with Jimmy and Jimmy's Hewitt and what's the mom's name? Judy. Like, they know they have a special son, but they don't treat him like this overly special child. They treat him like a regular kid because they know that's what he needs. Because they know if he lets his head get too big, he's gonna, you know, just start being very egotistical. And they keep him grounded as best way they can, even though it doesn't always help. They still do it.
And not only that, look how they treat each other.
Oh, he loves her. He loves his wife. Like, he loves her.
And she, like, very much so loves him.
I need to start watching more fucking old cartoons to fucking keep up with y'all.
So.
And like, that episode's actually apparent when Jimmy goes back in time to convince his dad to invest in something. And even though it's the 70s and marriage wasn't really, like, you know, that popular, he was already willing to spend the last money he had on the wedding ring for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot. Like, you're gonna be broke when you buy this ring, but I'm doing this because I love her this much.
Yep. So, all right. Next,
let's see here.
What else do we have?
What the audience consensus come back on that one for?
So the scenario was a little bit different for this one. The question for this one with the couples was, who was the most oblivious when it came to their kids?
Oh, that's how you formatted it when you put it out.
Oh, the most oblivious when it came to their kids?
Like, their kids are in the middle of... Their kids are always doing something, and they're the last ones to know.
Well, the Patakis 100% found Helga's stash, so that's not a thing. The Fentons know what's going on with Danny. Hank constantly gripes on fucking Bobby. Jimmy Neutron's parents are very aware. Hell, the Griffins tried to prevent Quagmire from fucking Meg when she turned 18.
Which was one of the wildest episodes.
I will say, in the case of Chris and Stewie, they never have any fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah,
they're oblivious to Chris and Stewie's lives.
Yeah.
And Meg is just an afterthought for them.
Yeah, they did have Meg's back in that one important instance, but she is also always pointed out to be the one that everyone dismisses. They don't give a fuck about her. They're kind of oblivious to their kids' lives, although when it comes up, they oh, we care. We're going to come together as a family.
I really honestly
oblivious.
I really think the most oblivious would be Timmy Turner's parents.
And that's what everybody picked.
Yeah, they're the most oblivious. So, all right. Anyways, let's move on. Interesting.
All right, I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna have to show my ass at least one more time before this is done. I need a beer. Thank you, thank you very much.
I need to get you a fridge for in there.
Yeah, we really do.
Okay, so for this one,
I'm gonna be terrible at this. I'm not even. Yeah, no.
so the top one. These are the guys from Zombieland, the movie.
I know.
Walking Dead, obviously, and The Last of Us.
Yeah.
This is basic. This is simple enough. Which world do you think you survive in the easiest? Which one do you think you would survive in the least? Simple as that. Uh-oh. Hey, Keith, I think we lost Steve. Okay.
I don't know.
We lost you for a second there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but I mean the thing is like I wouldn't survive in any of these worlds, so like again,
I think you would survive the Walking Dead one. I think you could.
No, it's not an environment suited for me. Like I don't like zombie questions. I don't like dealing with zombie stuff because it's arbitrary to me, and it's not something it's not my bag, man. It's not my bag. So,
You think you just wouldn't survive, or it's just like the scenario is just too wild?
it's just it's too stupid and too overdone for me.
What's
Like,
going
that's-
on, Gelman? Sounds like the fucking conversation shifted to more serious.
No, it's just it's about zombie survival stuff, and again,
that used to
Yeah.
be my obsession. I was one of them guys they used to make all the excessive zombie flicks for.
yeah, and it's never been my bag, so it's like it's not my thing.
Want to do a
So-
quick blaze through it? Ron, I'm curious what the question was.
The question was, which one do you think you'll survive in the easiest? Which one do you think you won't survive in at all? And it's Zombieland, The Last of Us, and The Walking Dead.
Group from The Last of Us really cares about one another like family. I think they give all to keep one another alive. If you're close and you're not in bad with the Walking Dead crew, it's a good team. It's a good, strong, large team with also a lot of potential internal problems, individual social divides throughout it. So kind of a rocky thing to navigate, but probably a very good survivable team if you're strategic, play it right, get in, do the right thing, be part of the team. Comedy crew at the top, love the fucking movie, but they're gonna fucking run while you're getting eaten by a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or be the guys that are noisy and dumb and bring the zombies to you. So, my quick breakdown. So I guess Last of Us best survivability, Walking Dead second best, Zombieland. You're a B-roll backup character there for comedy and dying if you're with them.
All right, let's jump into another one. Let me see if I can find one for Steve. Let's see here. I think I went through most of them. Hold on. Yep. Okay, there's only one left. This one here. So, your bully and his dad challenge you to a fight. Whose dad are you calling to jump the fight with you?
Oh.
Who am I getting to go into to go into the fight with me?
So you have Hank Hill, Stoic the Vast, Jack Fenton, Timmy's dad, the dad from Rocket Power, Stan from American Dad, and Dexter's dad.
That's who the last one was.
All right.
I know Dexter is fucking awesome. I don't know what his dad did or how useful he was.
Okay, so you want from best to worst pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You can just
for
pick
me-
one as the best pick and then one is the worst pick. Yeah. We have to go through all
Okay,
of them.
okay. So Stoic's gonna be my best, and my worst is gonna be Hank.
I imagine the one you reference is the big, scary, tough-looking barbarian dude.
Yeah.
seems like he could hold his own. I don't know that franchise or character, but it seems like a badass. I would go with American Dad, though, for my number one, because he'll call in a fucking Black Ops fucking team. Like, he'll call in SEAL Team 6 in a fucking airstrike.
He'd be my second pick.
Yeah, he'll go to extremes and has too much ability to call in, backup from Big Brother.
Yeah. The thing is how I came to the conclusion is that out of most of these dads, one of them we've seen actually get into a fight, and that was Hank. And Hank lost.
Yeah, most times I see Hank fighting, he's literally just kicking someone in the butt. Not kicking butt, but kicking someone in the butt.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a good fighter, but he's got heart.
Yeah, but the heart's not enough to pull him up on the list. The rocket power dad, he seems like the type to sit there and he's Australian. He's gonna kick the shit out of you and then toss you a fucking...
I think he's gonna come into the rescue like something out of the fucking Fast and the Furious movies. Like he's gonna ride in on a surfboard or a fucking crocodile and knock someone out with a goddamn boomerang.
Yeah. And I mean, Timmy's dad is always down for a fight because he's always trying to fight his neighbors. So we know that even if he gets his ass kicked, he's just gonna keep getting up and getting up and getting up and getting up. Dexter's dad is fucking nuts.
I don't know much of his story or what he's capable of.
I'll put it to you this way. There was an episode where he challenged a guy that was about, in the show-wise, that was about 6'11", big, beefy, 400-pound dude. And because the dude slammed the door in front of his wife, basically, he went like, you and me, we're about to go right now because you don't disrespect my wife.
So Mr. Khan went all Vegeta on this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dexter's dad... I mean, let's not forget, it was subtly indicated in the Dexter's Lab show that the parents were heavily into BDSM. So, Dexter's dad has been through some shit. So, this is a dude, yeah. So, I mean, Dexter's dad is fucking nuts. So, again, I think I'm very valid in putting Hank all the way down at the fucking bottom, all right?
I'll probably agree with you, even though I'm only loosely familiar with some of the others. Hank definitely least useful in that scenario.
So, once I made the picks, I realized what the mistake was in putting Stoic in there because Stoic was going to be the number one pick anyway. But the ranking I put in this, my personal rank that I put in, it was going to be Stoic 1, Timmy's dad and Jack Finnan tied for the same place, then Stan. Simply being the fact is, I told you that Jack has fought Ghost hand to hand before.
The technology and he's experienced in fighting. And he's probably going to come at you with some weird tech device to soup him up.
The only reason why Stan was my second point and not Mr. Fenton was literally because of the fact that Stan has the resources of the U.S. government at his fingertips, which is something the Fentons don't have.
Yeah. And the reason
Stan's overreaction and the fact that he's made phone calls for petty, ridiculous shit, and a SWAT team or 12 shows up.
Yep.
And then there's then the reason I put Jack and Timmy's dad on the same level was because there's an episode where he literally fights no weapons, just hand to hand, a 13 to 14 foot gator with his bare hands, and he wins.
You're talking about the Turner dad?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I said, Timmy Turner's dad is not at the bottom of my list because that motherfucker's always down for a fight.
See,
he may be a shit parent, but he is down for a fight.
I remember the premise of the show is very odd parents or something, right? That's and the kid can travel between the real world and a magic world and has powers. No? See, I don't even fucking got that part, right? It's so fuzzy to me what the fuck that was even about or what his dad was all about and capable of.
So the episode I'm talking about is he literally Timmy wishes his parents would essentially neglect him. They don't care about him. And then eventually down the episode, he ends up in the sewer, and there's a 13 to 14 foot gator that's literally about to eat him, and it's a big freaking gator. The dad jumps in and basically beats the crap out of this gator and basically picks it up, pile drives it to the ground.
I want to see this exact scenario, but redone with real people, movie characters.
like who?
Like fucking Vin Diesel, Steve Irwin, Will
John
Smith
Wick?
in his movies where he played the dad role would be a good one on the list, honestly. I could give me a couple of days and I could probably give you like maybe a dozen options that you might be able to rifle through and compile a similar list with movie characters instead of cartoon ones. I think that'd be similarly fun, and I think more people would have familiarity and exposure to movie characters. Not everyone is as seasoned in the cartoon world.
I mean, there are some movie dads that I've seen that can throw hands like nobody's business, and they're not superheroes; they're just regular guys.
Right? Maybe we could even omit the ones with powers and the ones that are just like mortal action heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna throw this out there though. Like, Dexter's dad needs to be higher than Timmy's dad. That he's been through some shit. Like, yeah, Timmy's dad's always down for a fucking fight, but the fact that Dexter's dad is like that reserved, quiet, and then does the whole, "Oh, you won't go." Like, sorry. And like I said, in the series, least we not forget, it is hinted at that the parents are heavily into BDSM. So like, and he ain't no switch, he's the sub. Like, it's obvious that man's the sub. So, like, he has been through it, man. He has got them long distance, I've seen some shit in my time eyes going on with
All
him.
calm, cool, collective. Somebody fucks up and he just gives him 1,000-yard stare and is like,
Yep.
no pain.
I've seen a lot in my short time on this world, but you know what? I'm still here.
Yeah, it's like holy shit. So,
oh man.
So that's all you got for us?
So I do want to make sure that I have one for Keith as well, because I do not want to leave him out.
Well, yeah, you didn't custom build this around today's topic. This is just great stuff you had in the works that made for really good conversation.
Yeah, it really did, yeah.
Considering we were just kind of pulling together a best-of collection of some of this stuff, this is very good. I don't mind. Like, I kind of pre-warned you when we did, like, a little view of it. I'm like, quite a bit of this list, I'm only remotely familiar with some of the folks on these lists. So, but, it's all good.
I did have one that this was going to be a scenario. I didn't particularly pick any games. These were just games in general, and like, what to you is considered the most rage baiting game that you ever played? Like, it doesn't have to be a video game. It could be any game.
Rage baiting. I can't think of a rage baiting game. I could think of games that inspired rage unintentionally because they were buggy or unpolished or empty promises were delivered.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh God. I don't want to be. I don't want to be too critical over something.
That's
Because
your
I
game.
know a lot of the games I want to hate on got patched down the road, or they were in like alpha or early access when they were that fucked up and aggravating. And some of them that I could think of moments that really pissed me off in the long run, love them, and that shit got fixed. One of my favorite games that I currently play, the last one, unintended rage out. Like, the developers didn't mean to rage bait you in it, but buggy add-ons for new maps and locations. Helldivers has recently been driving me up the fucking wall. We're bugs in certain maps are more infuriating than just about any experience I could think of in the recent past in games. One, for instance, is constantly getting stuck in the ground and being unable to move, dive, jetpack, jump. And you got 100 opportunities to get out of the situation. You're stimming. You're using your dive. You're using your jetpack. Like, nope. Glued to the ground. My feet are cinder blocks. Like, unintentional rage baiting you into being like, The game is fucking with me. It is fucking me personally on purpose right now. Fuck this bullshit. Like, just enough retardedness to oh, I'm gonna get canceled for that one. Oh well, fuck it.
There are
You heard me, Arrowhead. You made me sound like a hateful prick. Your fucking game is rage bait some days.
So the 3 games I'm going to say, these games have actually been on the news that the game caused fights and actual stabbings. So one of them is Uno. People have fought and gotten stabbed over Uno. Yes, this has happened before.
I've heard
Uno,
that.
yes.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Who the
several
fuck
times.
do you have to play Uno with to get stabbed? What, are they playing for money?
They more than likely were, yeah.
Yeah,
People
That might
played
make some
Uno for
fucking
money.
sense.
Another game was, what was it? Battleship. Battleship has caused fights before.
Now, I know
Yeah, I can see
Pokemon
that.
cards back in the day, there was a lot of violence, a lot of thefts, a lot
Yeah.
of fist fights over Pokemon cards. And that was, yeah, it was more like a mugging. Like, I'm gonna steal your fucking Pokemon.
You got a Charizard, and it's first edition, holographic. Get it
And
here.
honestly, even aside from the cards, I used to hang around a fucking group of rough kids when we were little kids, and people were known for stealing your cartridge and swapping it out with a different one to jack your Like, so back in the day, you could connect your Game Boy and trade Pokemon. If you were unwilling to trade shit that someone wanted, and it was often more like a bank job than like a theft, they swap your shit for somebody else's same color one, take your shit home, hijack the Pokemon that you were like being greedy about, and no one in your class or your little group, you were very, very particular about who you trade certain Pokemon with, because it's like, no, that's my golden goose, that's my golden egg. But they go around and like bank jobs, strategically heist your card, steal your data, or like, too, if you traded it in Pokemon, it came off of your get. Yes, it was logged that you caught it. It was also logged that you traded it, and you no longer fucking have it. So it was almost like breaking into your Pokemon stable and just heisting them.
And there's 2 games that I have left. These are actually both played in jail and in prison, and has started fights and stabbings as well. I know this one from people who've told me the stories, both in and out of jail, and how serious the game is. One is Dominoes.
I thought you might
Yep.
say that.
I've met people that are young and old who have fought people over dominoes and over cheating and playing dominoes. It is a serious game that is played, and the people who play it really well don't play it easy. They will destroy you in it, and if they find out you're cheating, it's not going to be taken well. There have been people who've been booted out of groups for cheating playing dominoes. And then the other one is Spades.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it seems like a lot of this conflict is games where there's something to take home.
Yeah, more than
That
likely.
seems to be the most volatile ones that are coming.
Not
back
even
to
bragging
everyone's
rights.
mind.
It's literally just taking something home.
Money or your reputation as a player at your skill level on the line, or indeed like maybe a digital or physical collectible. So
Yeah.
in a way, it's all driven by gambling. It's all driven by gain, whether that's monetary status or a tradable item.
Yep.
Seems like that inspires a little more aggression and violent reaction over these games.
Now, when it comes to video games, I've watched a lot of players play online and like how they ultimately rage out. Dark Souls is one of those games that people literally have snapped over and broken their controllers over.
I watched
it's
it. It's a
surprising.
beautifully made game. I couldn't play it. I would just. Now, I've way outgrown the ages of throwing a fucking controller across the room, but, in my past, when I was younger, that would definitely be a reaction. But really, I'll get so mad at a game like Dark Souls if I were to play it, because I get aggravated watching my friends play it. I'm like, I'd shut my damn console off and I wouldn't come back to it for fucking weeks. I'd look at it as that device just ruins my day. I'm not gonna fuck with it. Like, it could ruin gaming for me for weeks at a stint if a game was that. Just beat you into the ground, beat you into the ground, beat you into the ground. Like, So yeah, definitely a ragey game, Dark Souls.
Now, the number one most raging game that I've ever seen, and I know it because I played it. I've been in the lobbies of people who played it, and the language that is said in these lobbies is probably some of the worst I've seen before Reddit ever existed. And that is a Call of Duty. That is Call of Duty.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
it's the fucking player base. That game, that fucking player base is aggressive, toxic. They're all bragging, all huge egos, and all shit talking and smack talking during it, which can be pretty fun. Till somebody gets fucking angry and they start fucking getting really, really lasered in on any individual. Because they're all sort of a bunch of, like I said, a lot of ego, a lot of shit talk.
Yeah.
And when you make one of them fucking mad, just picture that personality. Now they're pissed off and directing at anyone specific.
Now imagine if you're good at the game and you're just good, and you just go through the game just like destroying everyone. They're gonna assume that you're cheating. They're gonna assume that your game is hacked.
If you're fucking good, particularly above average good, oh, the slander for being a fucking cheater gets heavy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's still.
I think it's kind of a toxic community in general.
It is. I played it for years, and there's not a lobby I've ever been into that I ever wanted to stay in for more than a couple of games.
And I'm not big for those whole, like, the world's shrinking and it's last man standing at the middle. I don't like those sort of arenas. They've gotten really popular. But Call of Duty, indeed, the Warzone, they made a very fun, free version of it, so I give it credit. I never made one fucking microtransaction in that game. And it's not my preferred style. But sometimes when I just want to go on there and be solo and see how far I can make it and just be cold-blooded as shit, I jump into play. And I will tell you, once in a blue moon you find another solo or another Ronin-style player that is not malicious as shit. And they're like, they see you surviving, you see them surviving, you don't engage one another. You just have a mutual professional respect, and you're like, I'll deal with that guy when I fucking have to. I keep seeing him over there. He keeps seeing me over there. It's like a few minutes later, wow, that motherfucker's still alive. And then through these sort of engagements, you might find yourself working with that person, talking with them, and go, you're the rare outlier in this world of piratey, cutthroat, lying, bragging, jerk-offs. It's like two people that might be accused of, man, you're cheating. No, it's tactics and a little bit of experience with getting decent at the gameplay. Now you get two nuts like that working together. Ooh, the way it could piss off all the other generalized group of, I'm gonna fuck you up, I'm gonna fuck you up. They all think they're super badass, but there's no teamwork. There's jack shit for communication, and descends into chaos as the map shrinks. The two people that are focused, calm, and hang in the outside, and maybe even agreed to work together a little bit, you create a very fun dynamic in a game like that, where it's normally, like you said, a recipe for rage.
Yeah. Something.
Well, I think we're reaching that natural stopping point that we always inevitably do. Damn, this was fun. Like, I think for our first one being back for being back in quite a while, this one was actually really good.
I'd be down to dive back into that topic with you in future episodes and whatnot too. Games, which ones are rage, which ones are fun, and which ones have weird dynamics with multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we'd make almost a whole episode on those games.
Oh, for sure. We definitely get into that.
Oh yeah. So basically everybody's going to be sitting there, going to have content coming out pretty soon. We'll be continuing down the path of the year of touching grass. Of course, if you sit there and you like this video, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, hit the hype button, and I'm sure pretty soon, YouTube's going to sit there and be like, drink your, authorized can of beverage in order to sit there and show you that you like the video or whatever. You can find everybody's links down in the description, of course. Couple of cool announcements coming out pretty soon. Again, we're going to have that big trip coming up. That's going to be us traveling and doing the Universal shoot, which is going to be a more complete Universal trip this time around. We might do some other content while we're down there. Another thing is that Critical Skeptic's channel is going to be having some videos coming out pretty soon. Also, eventually, I do know it's on his radar. It's not going to be anything anytime soon for folks. But things that he'll be making on his channel, he'll eventually also be selling in his storefront. Be on the lookout for that in the future.
Don't threaten him with a good time. That's going to be local only for a long time.
Yeah.
Shipping is a layer of crap I don't want to get into. I'm just trying to figure out what I could fit in my vehicle from the size and dimensions, variety of wood stuff I'm making. It's going to be local community. I will be taking orders if you find yourself in the Central Florida area and end up at one of the farmers markets I start hitting. I will be doing the build to order, basically. So I'll bring up some demos, a few things for selling on the spot, but because of the size and dimensions, some of the stuff I work on, it's just got to be built to order and local pickup because of the size and weight for shipping. I mean, a lot of garden planters and stuff are going to be brought up to farmers markets, so there's only so much I can fit in my truck. I've got a penchant for building custom workbenches for people. You need a pickup truck for that. No, you're not paying the shipping to get that delivered, neither am I. So, if you want that, we got to work it out local, but there's some smaller home and novelty items from candle holders, coasters, cutting boards, etc., that I will try to incorporate shippability on that sort of stuff in the future. So, just to run out if interested and whoever starts following it all.
Yep. And then, of course, everything going on over on the Epic Ray Comedy channel. You can sit there. You can hit up his new podcast. He does his gaming stuff on there. That's always available. Then coming from Ducky, she's got her live streaming stuff going on right now.
Is she still going?
Yes. Wow. And she's got her art also going down. Some new art shorts coming out. Also... we have Ghost, who just recently expanded his server. We have DaBlueSkittle, who actually just opened up another section of his server through DayZ. And then finally we have me, and I am currently working on a book, and it should actually be released sometime later this year. I actually just found a publisher. So, yep, be on the lookout for that. It's a fiction novel, folks. I'm not writing anything reality-based. And as much as people would love a life story about me, fuck that. You're never getting one. But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody for sitting here and tuning in. It's been great hanging out with everybody again. We'll be seeing you again, hopefully real soon. Again, it's the year of touching grass. We're out there. We're doing projects. We're being as much in the zone as we can. There's a lot of video to go through. There's a lot of editing to do. We still have a lot more left in this year to do. We're kind of spreading this out more and more and more over the year. So, we'll be getting through it like we always do.
Don't be surprised when Steve is much lower energy in the next coming shows when I start creating content. Because he is the second in 3 steps. I don't edit video. I edit still frame. That is where my fucking experience and involvement level and patience for that all caps out. So when I start dropping content, if y'all watch it and like it, always remember Steve is the editor. You got to give him 50% of the credit for anything I put out if you end up liking it.
So. But anyways, from myself and all of us here at WTFodcast, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Here's to you.